taught in several prestigious institutes in Delhi, Bangalore and Hyderabad. And only for anthropology I've been like more than 15 years in the field. And in a general UPSC coaching, more years, more than 15 years in fact. So we are here today to make one big decision. Forward. Already you have taken a decision. I must congratulate you for that. What is the decision? To take and aim for the civil services exam. And the very decision is commendable because very few people in this country take this. And you have already taken the first step towards your personality evolution. And today I'll be spending some time with you, approximately about 1.5 hours to 2 hours, if time permits and entire discussion permits. And usually my style of teaching is interactive. It's two-way kind of a communication. I don't believe in one-way communication, but for today, we have to be going in approximately, roughly in two directions. We have two parts in our discussion or in the session. One would be, as I told you, my entire sharing of the ideas on the anthropology subject in particular, and one or two ideas in general about the civil services exam. And the second part of the discussion, that will be roughly about 10-15 minutes. That will be your session. So you will be coming up with your queries and doubts or anything you wanted to ask. Okay, so I'll be jumping into the bandwagon first. So what exactly we are going to talk about? We are dealing with the 4 basic questions about anthropology. Like for that matter, these 4 basic questions rather you should raise in every juncture in your life. Not only for anthropology, but also for GS and anything for that matter. So what are those 4 questions? Here the 4 questions are: it looks maybe very simple, right? So we have to actually start simple, and in our scheme of things we will start simple. We will remain simple right from the beginning, and throughout our journey our entire efforts would be to make the journey simple, to make the learning simple, your understanding simple, and your presentations also simple in the examination hall. So why I am using this word simple many times? Because UPSC awards more marks for clarity and precision and simplicity. You may have spent 1 year or 2 years, the UPSC doesn't bother. But how much clearly you can think and how much clearly you can present in the paper, that matters. How much clearly and simply you speak to the interview board in the personality test, the final stage. That is the interview. That matters. So we will try to keep things simple, as I told you. And in this journey, definitely some questions, some terms will come, some ideas, some terminology definitely will come in your way. That looks slightly perplexing, slightly confusing. First time it happens with every subject. Again, what is our ball game? We will make it simple and you can easily deal with that. So again, coming back to the mode question, what of the discussion? What is anthropology? Oft repeated question, many of you might be knowing the meaning of that. What is anthropology? It's the study of human beings. Most simple thing again, most simple definition or simple understanding of anthropology is, it is the study of man or humans. It can even be called as a science of humans. Today I'll be taking a good time of years, and I'll go very slow because the journey should be, as I told you, it begins with simple steps and it will gradually pick up speed. You should have patience. And what is the reason behind this? Why we are calling anthropology as a science or study of humans? Because the word anthropology or the term anthropology is a collection of two terms, two Greek terms. In fact, it is a collection of or compendium of two Greek words called anthropos and logos. Anthropos means man or human being. Logos means science or study or logic. There are several dimensions to it. Either you can call it as logic or study or science. Whichever it is okay. What we are actually doing in anthropology, again fundamental question, simple question, basic question, we are studying man or human beings. Okay, wonderful. The next mode question comes. So what on earth we are studying human beings? Are we not studying human beings already? You must get this question, basic question. Are we not studying humans already? What are the subjects you have studied in your graduation or post-graduation? Right? Engineering, mathematics, then accountancy, or all these subjects, right? And medicine, some of you might have studied medicine, commerce, management. Are these subjects not studying humans? Yes or no? Absolutely, they are also studying humans. Then what is missing? And I must add something in the question of when it has begun. Anthropology, if you ask a person, T.K. Pennyman is an anthropologist. He has written a book called 100 Years of Anthropology. In that book he says, anthropology is the youngest discipline. It's of recent origin. When we compare with all these great subjects, philosophy, history, science, then biology, etc., etc., anthropology is a relatively newer or younger discipline. And that's the reason many people do not know. Many people do not even know what is anthropology unless you have chosen a subject for optional, in your UPSC. Even when I came to the preparation, I never knew what was anthropology. It was like looking very fresh kind of a thing to me. It was something like a foreign word to me. Because even in our schools and colleges, nobody spoke about anthropology, right? Maybe your friends or cousins or your sisters or brothers might have prepared. Then you know that is one subject. Then again I come to the basic question. What on earth we are studying in anthropology? We are studying humans. Okay. We have to add a comma there. We study humans better. We study humans in a novel way. We study humans in a 360-degree manner. We study humans holistically. HOLISTICALLY. What do? We study humans 360-degree holistically. And now again we'll go back to that earlier topic. What were other disciplines doing? They were also studying humans, but they are not studying humans 360 degrees, my dear friends. Only anthropology can claim to be a true discipline of humans. Why? Because it, again, another dimension, another answer I'll give you. I'll give another answer for that. Anthropology studies the core of humanity. You can write this word if you want. What is the word I'm using? Core. What do you mean by core? Like just like our earth has a core. The center, the most central thing. What is the most central thing of us? Now when I point my finger towards me or you, when I'm saying us, me, who am I? I'm a man. Okay, that is clear. I'm a human being. Again, that is clear. Silly questions also come up in our journey. And I'll tell you, definitely there is going to be a lot of fun in the journey also. What is this human being? What do you mean by human? What it takes to be human? Now, you all know, most of you know that technically, biologically, we have a separate name. You know that? And some of you have even heard this book named Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari. A recent historian who has become famous with his 3 books back to back. What is our name? I have already given to you clue. We are all known as biologically, scientifically Homo sapiens. Acha, ye bhi theek hai. Homo sapiens, fine. And what do you know the meaning of Homo sapiens? Homo means humans. Sapiens means a wise man or wise. It seems we are wise people. We are wise people. And what about our biological nature, stature? What position we occupy in the animal kingdom? Are we animals or are we humans? We are all basically animals, right? Sometimes our animal comes out and goes back. Animal inside us comes, and animal movie title is in Rakliya. Sometimes I will be going in Hindi because the Delhi Adat abhi shooting nahi. I will be coming to Telugu also, don't worry. Animal, again, I must appreciate this fellow, director. Who is that director? Sandeep Reddy Vanga. He speaks about when that woman, some of you might have seen this movie, some of you preferred not to see this movie. Okay. I also give some examples from movies like this because my job is to make the subject connected to you. First job, what is my first job? Connection. I have to make connection, you connected with the subject. Then next is how to mint marks with this connection. And this temporary connection may be for 6 months or 1 year, that's it. You are not going to spend your years and years of your youth here. Ashok Nagar is not ready actually. Actually it is ready. Hostel people and all are ready. But you should not be ready. Why? Because you should get into the bullseye, get the subject right and get the tactics right and get away from here. Get selected and go. So in that movie he says, when the heroine is walking, he says, your pelvis is wider, I know, because pelvis means, she comes and asks, what did you say? Your pelvis is wider. Pelvis means this part, the lower part. And he explains, because in humans, wider pelvis is for women and not men folk, because it enables or facilitates the birth of the young ones easily. Why again, if you raise that again question, you have to raise a lot of questions. In fact, in our journey, we will be raising hell of a lot of questions. We have started with the questions, what, when, where, why. Why women should have wider pelvises or pelvic areas? Because we started standing erect. Are ye kya hui? Are we not erect already? We are all erect. No, we are standing erect, standing upright. We started standing erect. It happened more than 5 million years ago, 4 to 5 million years ago. That means 40 to 50 lakh years ago this journey started. According to anthropology is a science. Every religion might be having your own, right? You must be coming from various religious backgrounds. Your religion says something absolutely okay. We are not having any discussion with that. We are only interested in man or humans as a biological animal, because we have had evidences from the earth's bosom. Scientists have collected evidences. Look, and they started showing, look, we were 4-legged animals long back. How much back? That's the reason we are raising the question, when? 40 to 50 lakh years ago, we were 4-legged animals. And we became bipedal animals. We started standing erect. And a lot of changes have to undergo, right? Is it easy process? No. It is called as evolution, and evolution happens very gradually over lakhs and millions of years in the timeline. And in this process, there was a clear division of male and female, with all due respect to female or feminism and all, respects women's rights and women's women's position. I am a champion of women's rights as well. The quest for equality was also linked to biology. Again, there was a division of labor based on the biology. We will know in a very beautiful understanding in anthropology when we talk about family, marriage. Have you got any idea how families have come into the picture? Do animals have families? Have you seen them living in families? Acha, what is related to family? What is required for family? Tell me. Blood relation. I want to actually set up a family. Bhai. I already have a family. How this family has come about? I am talking about not when I am born into a family. No. Now I am going to create a family. How is it possible? Marriage. And have animals got this practice of marriage? But humans have this marriage practice. So somewhere again lakhs of years ago marriage might have started, and under what conditions this marriage like practices started? These are the questions raised regularly by anthropologists. Now tell me again, there is a finger pointing towards by an anthropologist. Ourselves. We want to study ourselves, our core. We want to understand ourselves better. In fact, there was a scholar called Aristotle. You all know him, right? You heard this man, Aristotle. So again, about in 400 BC, when this man was seriously thinking, he also came out with one statement. In fact, he gave the word anthropologist. He used the word anthropologist for the first time. He said, who is an anthropologist? Somebody asked, he gave a definition. Anthropologist means a person who gossips about himself. Very simple, one line. What is that? A person who gossips about himself. Are ye kya baat hui? We all do the gossip. We do gossip. It is in our genes. It is our right to gossip. So what is this gossip all about? Gossip means what? You remember, we are talking about 400 BC. Those days gossip had a different meaning. Gossip means talk, discussion. It may be self-talk, it may be with others. It is actually man or humans trying to talk about themselves. Now please write down, or you can note it down in your mind. It's okay, I don't mind. What is the idea? Anthropologist is the one who talks about himself or gossips about himself. That means an anthropologist talks about ourselves. Anthropology is the study of humans about themselves. Anthropology is a study of humans doing the same study about themselves, not about any other people. They are hitting the core of the humanity. Now, I am regularly repeating this word core. Core means what? Core includes another one. Core means, I want to illustrate that core with a pyramidal structure. There are essentially three parts in this core. Rather, if you see your syllabus also, I will be actually in my style of approaching the subject. I usually want my students to come to the class every day with the syllabus copy, because if you know the syllabus first hand, you have that connection with the subject first hand. So your understanding of the subject is far better than any other candidate preparing an Ashok Nagar. I can guarantee that. Okay? So in that journey, you will understand in the syllabus, three components dominate. Any guesses? Already one word we have already spoken. B for Bombay. B for biology. I am just joking here. And I told you my thing is completely different. You will have never seen a kind of a orientation or approach by any person other than me earlier. That is a pakka. It's a completely different ball game. We approach the subject originally. I am using the word original. You may again want to debate with me later. You can enter into a debate. I will sit for 1 hour, you can debate. What do you mean by this original? Are others artificial? We will have a definite beautiful interaction on that. What do you mean by S then? Social. And what can be Meaning of C, sorry, culture. So in this journey we will be talking about another BSc, biology, society and culture. What are three together called as? I told you some single word. The core of humanity is occupied by three components: BSc, biology, society, culture. And if you see the syllabus, once you go home, or if you have the syllabus copy with you also, not now, but after a gap, you observe carefully the syllabus, you will find a lot of contents or the chapters dealing with biology, society and culture. And what about when of it? Next question, when anthropology actually has begun this entire journey? I have already given you a clue, right? Anthropology began its journey roughly in the 1850s or simply 19th century. So when we begin our journey in full-fledged classes, we will be spending time. Right now, this when is not so important for us. We just need to know when, that's it. According to T.K. Pennyman, I said in his book 100 Years of Anthropology, he clearly said that anthropology is about, as the very title suggests, it's about 100 years old, that's it. He wrote this book in 1935. 1935 means approximately 1850s. Approximately 1850s. So in today's comparison, it's about 170 years. Comparatively younger discipline. Okay, then next is where this anthropology has started as a discipline. Where? Why I will spend a lot of time, because why as an optional also we have to study. Why we have to study as human beings, everything I'll spend more time on that. Where? Predominantly in the West. What do you mean by the West? Is about the western part of the world. Europe especially, starting with Europe, then America. And even today, the subject that we are going to study have a lot of thinkers and books etc. authors from the West only. And initially these names will be new to you, but over a period of time they will become very, very popular. In our class, we have a very interesting practice, like you will be getting to use that regularly. I'll be asking, I'll be reminding you about these authors. What is that? Malinowski, what he has done? Malinowski, 5 bar. If I ask you 5 times, 6th time you will answer. Not simple. We have a very unique approach called keyword approach. Keyword approach is a one approach I will be using in our classes throughout the journey, and with that you will be knowing the ABCD of the subject very clearly, the basics of the subject. Okay, when it comes to basics, I have to share something with you. Very interesting thing, shall I? An extraordinary idea. It looks like very silly also after listening to that. If you see carefully PYQs, how many people have the habit of seeing the old question papers? Most of you, right? So kindly concentrate, my dear friends. I am going to share you something very interesting with you. If you observe these question papers, 50% of the questions are from very basic nature, or of very basic nature. 50%. Whether you take prelims, whether you take mains, whether you take optional or your interview. And I am speaking from my experience of these years, whatever I have shared with you. Year after year, the basic component of the question paper is 50% compulsory basic question. So if you are strong in the basics, using our keyword approach, you will be in a very good position. So predominantly it started in the West. In Europe and America, already we have noted about Aristotle, right? He has, again, where he has dominated in Europe only. Then I'll take you to this topic called the why part of it. Okay, so the why part, what is already we have known, we will be dealing a lot again on what is anthropology at length. Why anthropology? Now I will take you to the examination orientation for some time, about 20 minutes or so. Okay, because it all matters. It all boils down to the exam. And we in our class on a daily basis will be talking about exam. Our class is 100% examination orientation class. 100%. There is not even iota of doubt on that. 100% examination. Why? Because we will be raising these questions on a daily basis. And whenever I start a topic also, for example, if I am talking about, if I am starting a chapter on language, linguistic anthropology, there is a subject called language. I will be starting with a question. Recently also there was a question. There was a hypothesis called Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. So even before the class starts, we have a list of the questions on the board. That means what we are doing? We are doing our entire exercise purely on examination basis. We are not here for any PhD or masters. Tell you what, again, mind you, you are here for clearing the exam with optional as a subject, and that subject should be connected to you, and at the same time you should be having this strategy. Okay, so the first part of this why is nature of questions. What kind of questions will come? As I told you, nature of questions will be direct in nature. If you pick up the syllabus, we can't write here. If you pick up the syllabus of the subjects, many times directly the syllabus word to word will come as a question, word to word. Sometimes examiner may go in his own way, but will train you for that also. How much percent? More than 85 to 90%. 85 to 90% of the questions are direct. Limited syllabus, because in paper 1 we have 12 chapters, paper 2 9 chapters, 21 chapters, and in the exam how many questions you have to write in paper, any idea? Paper 1 how many questions, paper 2 how many questions? 19 questions out of 28 in paper 1, 19 again in paper 2. So you have a very simple idea. So 19 means we have got that training, we will be giving you that idea also. So limited syllabus is there, easily you can approach. You can complete this syllabus within 3-4 months. Kindly don't talk, please, it's a request. And the syllabus is diverse. Okay, here I would like to add some points. How this syllabus is diverse? What do you mean by this diversity? Here it means diversity means, if this is a subject anthropology, we have got almost 6 dimensions, 6 areas, where every one of you will be connecting with one or more angles. There are 6 angles or dimensions. One is the social cultural part. See, now we have combined social cultural in our scheme as actually when we go into the syllabus. Then biological or physical. Then from social cultural we have separated anthropological thought. There is an idea called anthropological theories or thought. Some interesting theories which will establish the subject in its own way. Then we have something interesting area called as prehistoric archaeology. Prehistoric archaeology. Another one is Indian culture and society, or Indian society and culture. And last but not the least is tribal India. Now using our unique approach, we have divided the subject into the 6 parts, and there is no requirement that we have to go in the UPSC way. UPSC starts with chapter 1, paper 1. I will not be doing that. In maybe like any number of batches I have taken, I have never started with the way UPSC wants. No, because we know where to hit, where to start. We can start with any part and go to any part, number one. And as I told you, why I have written all this here, what is the title? The diversity in the syllabus. Diversity means you have biological part, you have social cultural part, you have archaeology part, you have Indian society and culture part, tribal part, and also for pot. That means there is 100% chance that at one point of the time you will get stuck that connection. Connection hona mangta hai. I'm not exaggerating. I told you my style is different. Right from day one. What is that needed here? Why we are spending so much time here on optional? Now tell me why optional is important. Optional is the one where you can score far better than your nearest competitor, rather than rubbing shoulders with your friends or your competitors in the GS. Because I've been seeing over the years and decades that in the GS there is no like one man or one woman having 30, 40 marks ahead of others, especially the top rankers or top 100, top 300 like that. So you have only very less difference between GS marks. But in optional marks, yes, there is a great deal of chance that you can. So for that reason, we need to establish that connection. Unless you get that passion, it is not possible for you to do justice to this. I am telling you again and again. And having said this, I must share something interesting with you. Two parts. In your life, if you take any activity, any job you might be doing, whether you are preparing for civil services, whether optional anthropology, there is something called as, there is something else called as your success depends on this, how much proportion you will mix. Ideally, both should be in what proportion? Can you guess? Ideally, it should be 50-50. Some people get carried away by the art part of it. The art means passion. I told you about connection. You make connection, you make connection. So connection zyada bhi nahi hona hai. It again it defeats the purpose. Some people want to do masters, PhD. Okay, but that may not serve the exam. And in that process, what is getting neglected? The science part. I'll again add something more here. Can you add this here? What is closer to you? Art. Who are these artistic people? They work with mind or heart? They work with hearts. And what kind of people who work in science, who think practically, right? They work with mind. So your journey of the civil services should be running in two rails, which are equal. You should never go out of your art part of it or science part of it. So you must be very strong in the subject, you must be very strong in the strategy also. To reach there, you must be not relaxing in the strategy also. If art becomes more, it dominates, science will come down. If science dominates, art will come down. So I will ensure in my classes that both are 100%, like 50-50 they are ensured. So you will be enjoying the subject, at the same time you will be given training in that strategy. Every day when I write the questions on the board, you are automatically, it is a signal that you can write to the answers and invitation. Okay, nobody is saying, okay, you come after 1 week, when you come with an answer, I will not say, no, I'm busy, aisa nahi hota hai. I'm very glad when you come up with an answer, I'll be correcting that immediately. On a weekly basis also you can write and show to me. At every writing you will be improvising and I'll be correcting that strategy, where you have gone wrong, where you have to stress, where you are not writing this. Okay, and many such things I'll be sharing. So, art part is taken care of in the subject, science part is taken care of in the writing. Okay, answer writing. Chalo, this is done and we'll go to the next slide. Now we'll go a bit faster. In fact, my throat is not at all cooperating. I'm having a very bad throat since the last 4 days. And you all know this highly scoring, right? A person scored 362 marks in this anthropology subject. It is possible. And it is even today possible. 362 was the highest marks for 500 marks, not 600. 500 marks, a lady has scored 362. That means you can also do that, provided you hit the bullseye. What is a bullseye? Like since the Olympics time has come, I want to share this one beautiful idea with you. What is this bullseye? Bullseye means hitting exactly in the point, to the point. I told you in the beginning, UPSC gives more marks for what? To the point answers, not beating around the bush. మీకు ఏది వస్తే అది రాస్తే మార్క్స్ పడవు. వాళ్ళు అడిగిన దానికి స్పష్టంగా సింపుల్ words and simple examples and simple diagrams will take you there. And for that, right, higher marks are given. And luckily for us, highly scoring is possible because of the diagrams components. We have got two parts. What are the two areas? I have shared with you the subjects, rather the different parts we had, no? And anthropological thought. Then we had got this, yeah, here anyhow it is there. Anthropological thought is that area where you can score. Ek second, na? Some. Yeah, sorry. And I was talking about highly scoring. What are the scoring areas? I must tell you very clearly here. The biology part. You please mark if you want to mark. The biology part can fetch you. Can you guess how much percent? Maximum of how much maximum one can score in any social science? Actually, anthropology is a social science. What can be the maximum marks? Can you guess? 100% in individual answers. Please mark my words. 100% in individual answers. Again I repeat, 100% in individual answers. In the entire 19 questions, you may get 100% in one question, but that means you can also score 80, 90 also in others. And we'll be talking about them. So here this is the highly scoring part. And every year about 40 to 50 marks minimum come from bio part. Okay, anthropological thought is another area where many people don't even understand what is this concept. But once you understand that, it is like a puzzle. These theories are like, stories and riddles. The moment you open that riddles, it's like, wow, then I can score wonderfully. So this area can give you 70 to 80% marks. Part number 2. Part number 3, archaeological part, prehistoric archaeology. Here also one can score more than 80 to 90%. Rarely you can get 100% because 80, 90 is okay. That is also extraordinary. Why I am saying all this? Because when out of 6 parts, 3 parts are highly scoring, then naturally that woman has scored 362. It's possible. Everyone can do it, but you should know the way. The way should come from horses' mouths. There is a saying in English, horses' mouths. In Telugu we have a saying, Sankamlo bostane teerdham avutundi. Aa sankamu horse evaru? The teacher. If you go and holding the teacher's hand, you are destined to achieve that. You can mark my words. Okay, and if you do whatever we say you do, you can see your success in advance. You can see your success in advance, provided you give your 100% attendance in the class, make the notes regularly, show the notes regularly to us, write the answers regularly to us, and do this kind of yajna or tapasya for 6 months in your life. Give your best 6 months in your life, and your life has arrived, my friends. I am not exaggerating. These are the words of the great Amitabh Bachchan. I am a very small person, very, very minuscule person in front. Amitabh Bachchan ka kya hai? What did he say? 6 months if in your life if you give to anything, best, you give your best. Completely forget the world. You enter into as if you are in a tapasya. Tapassu, Telugu. You can see your success. Not today, tomorrow definitely. It may be slightly delayed, but success will come. In this subject, it is possible. People have done this in the past. I am not talking in the air. People have done in the past. Anudeep Durushetty was a non-bio student. He was an engineer. He has scored extraordinarily in anthropology. How it is possible? He has seen this juice in the subject. He has seen the scoring area. So he has done that. You can also do that. Is he coming from another planet? Mars, Jupiter? No, he is also from Earth. He is also a simple person, down to earth person. So you can also do that. Never lose the belief in yourself. Never. What is the mantra? Success. Another mantra I will share you. The day you lose your belief in you, you are gone. The day you lose self-belief or I can do it, that means yes, your downfall has started. Exact opposite is what? As long as you continue to believe that you can do it, even today you'll be surprising. Every class is like a nervous class for me. You won't imagine, you won't even believe. I'm sharing my secret. Even today, when I'm coming from a home, I keep telling to myself, I can do it. Am I doing something new? I've been doing this for past 25 years or so. Every day, that is a challenge for me. I believe in myself. I can do it. So if you believe this and believe in yourself and you approach us, we are here to show you the way. Okay, we will go out of our way and help you. Thank you. And one second. So these are the areas where you can get maximum. And moving further, people have done this already, achieving top ranks 1, 2, 3, etc. The recent years only, and even earlier also in our times, I have given my mains long back. My last attempt was 2002. Almost 24, 22 years back. Then also we were producing top ranks in anthropology. Then also the enthusiasm among the students for anthropology was top notch. So the kind of interest and enthusiasm that was there 30 years back, even today exists for anthropology. And you have to make the best use of it. Okay? Wonderful. And we'll move ahead. Now, this is the central part. This is an essential question. I have given a very bold statement here. What is the statement? Anthropology allows or enables you to understand the current society and current affairs. What is the word? Better. And did I use this word better earlier? In my class earlier, in the very beginning, did I tell you this? Anthropology allows us to understand ourselves better, whereas other subjects also allow us to study. But better means, what do you mean by this? I'll tell you something very interesting. Who are the people who get attention the maximum in anthropology? I mean, who are the subjects? Which kind of people anthropologists study? If you are an anthropologist, where do you go and study? To whom you will go and study? If I am an anthropologist, which are the people I go to? Acha, it is there in your syllabus also, yaar. 6th part. You have written on the board. Part number 6. The tribal people. Anthropology is a predominant study of tribal people. And you must be surprising. You must be surprised. What is this? Are not the mainstream societies are not subjects? No, we also study the mainstream societies. The cities, towns, agricultural societies. These are all called as mainstream societies. Anthropologists also study them. But I told you 150 years back approximately, anthropology began in the West. It began as a study of these simple societies. The Western fellows were getting interest in the other people. Who are these other people? The simple societies, tribal societies. And When these anthropologists start studying, and we also as anthropology students study these simple societies, one by one, day by day, after 1 month or 2 months, your world starts opening up. Acha, when people like these are living on this world, why we are suffering? They are living very happily. In fact, yesterday there was a newspaper item. There is a Amrabad Tiger Reserve, I guess, in our Mehboob Nagar district. Nagarjuna Sagar Tiger project was there. And government has sanctioned some amounts and rehabilitation packages were given to them. Many tribal people, after so much discussion, they have accepted. But about 30 families are still not convinced. They don't want to leave that place. And the government is giving very good package. Another good area land they are giving. And they have constructed houses for these Chenchu people. They are not going and living in those houses. If anybody gives a house to me, will I deny it? Will I say no? As an ordinary person, I will take. As a mainstream person, I will take. But these people do not take. These people say we are very much happy in our own world. We are living in hunting. You know, Chenchu people even today hunt. How far they are from us, from Hyderabad and Kurnool? Approximately 150, and Kurnool is very much beside them, 50-100 kilometers. It's very much closer to civilization. These people are still hunting and gathering. And what is the meaning of that? That means there are people who are living very close to nature. They are living original lifestyles, and we will be trying to relate to them. Earlier we were just simply, these people are uncivilized, jungly people, uncivilized, they were lazy people. This kind of attitude is there in us. They do not study, they drink, and only women work, men folk drink and beat them. It is all a very sorry state of affairs. But when you go step by step, gradually into this journey, you will start appreciating that these people are also human beings. Earlier, we never used to think that the others are human beings. You start appreciating the schemes and programs given by the governments. Earlier, they were only academic subjects. Like that, at every area, we enter into this area called current affairs and also current society and so gadbad ho yaar. Well, current affairs better. Recently you have heard about this Manipur incidents. Manipur, then people without knowledge of anthropology and people with the knowledge of anthropology will be seeing things very differently. And these people, why they are going to Myanmar and regularly coming with arms and again fighting with the local people and the government also? Because there is a porous border with Myanmar, number one. Second, they have their kin there outside, relationships. And the tribal people and the simple people give lot of importance to their relationships. Anything else will come second. Anything else than kinship or relationship is secondary to them. They can go to any extent to maintain their relations. For us, mainstream society people, it's a different story. So we will go there and also understand in the coming days. I'll just illustrate this topic, this area with only one small diagram. Very interesting diagram. Before I go to the next one, as a civil servant of tomorrow, I have a question for you. With what kind of people you will be working the most? Already rich people or higher middle class, upper middle class, or the poor people? Poor people. And how the government deals with the poor people? Do they go and talk to them on a day-to-day basis, or they devise some schemes? They devise some schemes and programs. So I am writing the word S. S stands for schemes. Acha. Wonderful. Now tomorrow you as an IAS officer will also be drawing some schemes, implementing schemes. How? What is the basis for these schemes? The basis for these schemes is policies. P for policies. There are some policies: tribal policy, foreign policy, women policy, children policy. Everything there is a policy. State level, central level. Number one. Wonderful. Second and third, these policies is a part of 1G, G1. This G1 stands for governance. If you see paper 2 also in general studies, we have a very clear topic: polity, constitution and governance. Governance is very much important for you. So governance is doing what? Devising policies and schemes and programs for the downtrodden, for the backward people and all these categories. How these, on what basis these policies are made, or this is a governance, and what is a governance dependent on? This is a function, this is a structure. Without the government, is governance possible? Now, if after elections, if the Prime Minister doesn't occupy office, will it be acceptable according to the Constitution, according to the rules of procedure of Government of India? Immediately, as soon as possible, one has to go and sit in that. The government has to be there so that governance should be carried out. Here, on what basis this government has come? Now, can you guess on what basis this government comes? It is based on laws. Without laws, no single government person can act. The government acts on the basis of acts. I repeat, how this government acts? It acts on the basis of acts. What do you mean by acts? Legislations or laws made by the state legislature or the union legislature called parliament. Acha, again I am drawing your attention to another one, another fundamental thing. On what these laws are based on? One single extraordinary thing called, starts with C. Constitution. Wonderful. Our constitution is the fountainhead for all the laws. Can the courts allow any law or laws which go against the constitution? Supreme Court or the High Courts? Absolutely no. So the laws are made or based on the constitution. Now I have one more column, or rather two gaps behind or beneath the constitution. Can you guess what can be here? Beneath the constitution, who is existing, my dear friends? Below the constitution stand the people of India. Or for that matter, any government, any constitution in the world based on its people. Now, simple. And what is the last column or last bit? The next natural question, I have told you, our journey will be full of questions and riddles and answers. Question and answer. These people, are they same? Is the entire world same? Men, women, difference hai na? Again, within the humanity, are all the people same? No. In India, this is a society equal, egalitarian society, or unequal society? Unequal society. Unequal society. So, we have to study about the society. And their cultures, their languages. Now, if you even, some of you might have studied something about polity and constitution, some of you. Definitely in our constitution also you will be talking about languages and cultures. This constitution guarantees rights and privileges and some duties based on the society, the culture. And can you see anthropology here, at least in the last bottom thing? What are the three in the BSc? What is the core occupying? BSc Biology, Society, Culture. Biology anyhow we will separately study. As far as this pyramid and general studies is concerned, we study society and culture wonderfully well with the lens of anthropology. Today, if it is no exaggeration, if I call this lens as an anthropological lens, if I wear this lens, I can see the world very clearly. Today, mark my words, after some months or some weeks, you will 100% agree with me. Once you start wearing these lenses called anthropology lens, you can see the world very clearly. You are a better person than before. Will be a better person than before. One best example I want to give you before I go to the next one. One best example. Yesterday, I mean every day I got this newspaper reading habit right from my childhood. When I was 10 years old, I am reading these newspapers. Okay. And these newspapers allow you the society first hand. Are the newspapers mirrors of the society or not? Wonderful. So yesterday I read an article where in Hyderabad every day hundreds and hundreds of cases are coming to the family courts. Can you guess what could be the topic? Family courts mein kya aata bhai? Divorce cases. Divorce cases are increasing in the country. It's an alarming trend. It is not a good thing. We cannot actually even laugh or smirk on that. It's a serious note. And now you may ask, sir, why we are talking about divorce and all that? Because divorce was in a family or not? Is family a subject in your optional or not? Your syllabus, chapter 2.4, paper 1, you have a topic called family. Family comes through marriage, 2.3. And we go in an anthropological angle. We have our originality of approach in understanding what is this family like. How this family is responsible for divorce, increasing rates of divorce. Increasing rates of divorce and separation are because of, according to some scholars, rise of feminism and rise of women's equality and education, women's employment and women's quest for their identity and rights. Acha, this is okay. Then what are women doing in the family? They are the pillar of the family. They are the chirag of the family. They are like lamp lights of the families. Understood? Wonderful. What happened to the family after women got educated and industrialization happened? If you carefully see the syllabus, there are words like industrialization and urbanization and rise of feminist movement and impact on the family. Every 1-2 years this question comes. It's a favorite area of the examiner. So what I am trying to say, there in the family also we will understand that nuclear families are responsible for this trend. Earlier in the joint families, what will be the, if the couple is fighting, will the joint family members keep quiet? Will they allow the couple to separate easily? No. The chances are less for separation or divorce in a joint family, whereas the chances are higher in a nuclear family. And people choose nuclear family wantedly? No. There are several factors behind the rise of nuclear families. Industrialization, urbanization, rise of individualism, women's education, women's identity. Because in a joint family, you know, the Saas Bahu ka serial, you must be seeing right from eons. What happens in a Saas Bahu serial? There is always the Bahu, there is always the Saas or the Ata, what is that? Mother-in-law, daughter-in-law. Who enjoys a maximum power? What happens to the freedom of the daughter-in-law in a joint family? Is she very free in a joint family? Absolutely no. She is always curtailed. Even she can't even throw a bichari, not even a cup down. If small cup falls down, entire family looks like this. It's a great sin that the woman has committed. That kind of a position is, I'm not exaggerating, by the way, it is not a comic topic also, it's a very serious stuff. And anthropologists study this also. You will be surprised. Sir, already we know, we have been seeing my mother at 6 o'clock, she is saying that soap. We all know that. But we have our own way of studying this. Anthropology has got solutions also, not only studying. The beauty is anthropology provides solutions to these problems. How to actually deal with these rising cases of all that. And with that, get this personality, holistic personality, as I said. Acha, what could be the word? I have used this word holistic already, right? Where did I use? The very beginning of the class. What is anthropology? It's a holistic study of man. It studies humans 360 degrees. So, as an administrator of tomorrow, if you are given a problem, if a person without anthropology knowledge is given a problem, you are in a better position to give an answer. Maybe you will take some more time than the other person. The other person gives a solution, but it's a knee-jerk answer or immediate solution, but that will never give a permanent solution. Whereas with the knowledge of anthropology, after having read that topic or subject 360 degrees, you will be in a position, better position to give the solution for a long term. So a holistic personality, a very good administrator also is possible from anthropology. And like this, so many benefits are there. Anyone with any academic background can choose. We have already spoken on that. Non-bio students also, absolutely no problem. We'll make them simple. Good amount of material and standard books and guidance is available. Sabko side mein rakho. My notes more than enough. I'll be giving you bullet point notes also, dictated notes also, shared this handouts also, question and answer notes also. First time you must be very interestingly noting. I will be giving some notes, not all the notes by the way. In what form? Question and answer. Is it ringing any idea here? What is the meaning of this question? Notes? Directly hitting the bullseye, as if you are in the exam hall, there is a question before you and you have an answer before. And we have also given that structure. What is this introduction? Why this introduction is needed? I will give you the explanation also for that. So you have notes in all the dimensions, and to tell you what, my notes is very, very latest notes. That means it is based on research. I have access to I have my own personal library of more than 500 books. Not anthro. Anthro at least 50 to 60 books may be there. Every month I will be buying one book. Right from my childhood I am a voracious reader. So why I am saying this, not to advertise myself, but I am a constant learner. I always improve my subject. Again, if I am coming tomorrow also, I told you I come with this to the class with the same nervousness which I had experienced in my first class. Why? Because my job is to make you people sit for the 2.5 hours attentively. And by God's grace, all these years it has been happening. God's grace it is happening. And of course, the work, the research that goes behind this is also like. And every day, whatever is happening in the society also you can appreciate. You can appreciate your religion, your language, your culture, your family members. You start seeing them differently. First time, you will be seeing from a new dimension. Earlier, you are just going like that. Okay, this is a life struggle hai, competition, exams, and you take a break. Suddenly, you take a break and look, wait, let me understand myself better. Let me understand my family better. Let me understand my culture better, my language better, my society better before I am ready for the exam. And that is the reason I told you that 50% art part and heart part is taken care of. The moment you start looking at your own society and culture and language like this, your heart started operating already. And the science part, anyhow it is there in the subject, your answer, your question answer format, your writing, that will again take it forward. And when anthropology, already we have spoken about that, but when our classes are starting, they will give you an answer. Okay, when part already has covered from the exam, from the subject point of view, and the classes start maybe in 2-3 days or 1 week, we don't know. They are better people than me. And where? Here only, online, offline, sub, live also. Now the session is open to you. You can ask 4 queries or more also. These are regularly asked questions, but I don't mind. You can go on, feel free. This is an open session, this is your session. And to tell you what, 1 second, tell you what, and the energy that drives the class is also yours. The energy with which you bring to the class will be resonated in my voice also. The more energetic you are in the class and you come with that full, like 100% attention, with 100% what you call enthusiasm, we will give our 100%. Chalo. Go ahead and please ask your queries, any of them. And here you are only one person sitting in the class. How many people are sitting in this class? I am the only one sitting in this class. So don't bother about the next person also. Neighbor is also not important. Only neighbor is important when, I am very frank here, when you are going into that slumber in the post lunch session, because we are to meet in post lunch, you ask your neighbor to slap you. Okay, that much cooperation you extend to your neighbor and take the help. Otherwise, you are alone in this class. So don't think about the others. You are here for your selection and your job. Bolo. If you are not having any queries, we will wind up the session. And I can go at length. I have the energy also for another hour, another 2 hours. I don't have any problem. But it is only an orientation session or only a workshop. So we cannot spend more time on this ideally, because the actual subject is ready for the taking coming days. You are asking something? This side? You are all well informed about the subject? Syllabus is a simple syllabus, as we have noted. Syllabus copies will be given to you. And my request is for you to read the syllabus thoroughly. And every day also will be asked, you will be required to bring the syllabus copy. My regular habit is to every day touch upon the syllabus. Because a lot, anthropology looks like, your 21 chapters. But over a period of time, they become like lessened. Because there are a lot of cross linkages. When you understand the syllabus better, it is easier. We'll start with our own unique way, I told you, with one part of the syllabus. I'll announce only on the day of the starting, not. Aur bataiye? Adagandi inka. Yes. It is there. Absolutely. It's not different answers. Absolutely. You got the answer also. And I'll to add, you please complete. 100%. I'll give you the training for that. See, are you unique? Are you same, or you are sharing genes with your sister? We will be talking about that also. That is also our subject. Can you give me 5 more minutes, please? And you're all free after that. Okay. We have a topic called DZ twins and MZ twins. DZ means dizygotic. After the sperm and egg meets, the resultant product is called zygote. The zygote, if the embryo forms from 2 zygotes, okay, so 2 different zygotes will be forming, okay, and twins are born. And there are another set of twins called as MZ twins. Monozygotic twins. The sperm will fertilize only 1 egg, and the egg will split into two zygotes. And naturally, the MZ twins share 100% of the DNA. Except MZ twins, in this world, every person is a unique person. So you should discover in this journey what is your uniqueness, and as I told you in the beginning, UPSC awards more marks for how you write than what you write. How you write is more important than what you write. Everybody writes the same stuff. If I am talking about DZ twins, MZ twins, everybody talks about the same. We should write the common points also. But at the same time, you should see how fresh content I can add, how much diagrams I can add, or what kind of introductions I can write, what conclusions I can write. Then you made your answer unique. Yeah, good. You are now opening up. Please go ahead. This is your session. I am just simply a coach. Coach's role is only about 20-30%. You have to play the game. And I'm here to only help you. If you are batting like this with your elbow like this, the coach will come and say, you just lift your elbow like this. That's it. You'll make a century next time. I'm not exaggerating. Coach's job is to show you the correct way and correct you when you are going wrong. Here in UPSC, of course, teaching is also there, plus coaching should also come. Sorry? Yes, it has got a good impact, overlap with the GS syllabus. Indian society is there in paper 1, right? A good amount of marks. At least about 30 to 40% of the questions you can answer easily with anthropology. Last time they asked about what you call extramarital affairs. Can't even imagine extramarital affairs in UPSC exam. Okay, so how do you write that? And anthropology has got already a lot of knowledge in that. Family system, we have told about that. So we can write about women's issues, etc. There, one topic. Second, paper 2, that is polity, governance and constitution. Here already we have touched upon governance issues, socially excluded segments, these demographic background, and many areas of governance, especially if you see tribal India. In tribal India, we have a chapter called chapter 7. In chapter 7, we have got constitutional safeguards for the tribal people. So a good amount of constitution is covered in that. So you will get a good base in the constitution through. And some of the essays also started asking about that. They asked last time about to become more human, being humane, something like that. So being a human being and becoming humane. So essay topics also you can write. Essay ethics. In many areas there are some ideas of anthropology. You have something to ask? So people can actually, you can walk out if you are done with this thing. If you are not having any queries, you can write. We will meet in the subsequent meetings and classes. All the details are there with the admin paper. All the best. About 5 months. Yeah, duration will be approximately 5 months. Our friend has asked, I forgot anyhow, but thank you. No, syllabus is limited. కొన్ని కాన్సెప్ట్స్ చెప్పాలి కదా, అంటే టర్మ్స్ కొన్ని కొత్తగా ఉంటాయి కదా. ఇంకోటి వీకెండ్స్ ఒక్కోసారి టెస్ట్ పెడతాం, ఒక్కోసారి క్లాస్ ఉండకపోవచ్చు, సాటర్డే అట్లా. We take time and we cannot rush here. First, you have to give first time. Second time revisions you can go faster. See, if I rush, I can even complete in 2 months also. And meeku danlo maza ravalante subject lo konచెం time ఇవ్వాలి.